Welcome to CNN Student News on Cinco de Mayo 2014. We'll have a report on that in a couple minutes. I'm Carl Azus. First up today, U.S. jobs numbers. The latest report is out from the federal government. It has figures for the month of April. On one hand, things seem pretty good. 288,000 jobs added in the U.S. April was the best month for job growth in 2 years. And the unemployment rate, it was 6.7% in March. It dropped to 6.3% in April. One analyst says with warmer weather, we're seeing the economy heat up. On the other hand, things seem not so good. One reason the unemployment rate fell is because fewer people entered the workforce. It's possible more young workers are sitting on the sidelines. And another analyst says that's not a good sign.
Class of 2014, you're looking at a tough job market. It's been 5 years since the recession ended, but the effects are still being felt, especially among young people. A new report by the Economic Policy Institute, a liberal think tank, shows 1 in 5 high school graduates and 1 in 10 college grads aren't working, and they're not in school either. Even those simply approaching graduation don't face great prospects. The Institute says those young people will join a sizable backlog of unemployed college graduates from the last 5 graduating classes in an extremely difficult job market. And once they actually get hired, the problems aren't over either. Recent high school grads make an average of $9.82 an hour, 11% lower than what they would have in 2000. College grads are making more, about $16.99 an hour, but again, that's quite a bit lower than their predecessors. Plus, employers overall aren't being as generous with benefits as they once were. The report warns that it is possible to overcome these setbacks, but that it could take 10 to 15 years.
The nation of Ukraine is on shaky ground. Divisions are deepening. Violence is breaking out between those who want a closer alliance with Russia and those who want a closer alliance with Western Europe. What's been happening in the Ukrainian city of Odessa reflects the tension of the whole country. Yesterday, protesters who support Russia stormed a police headquarters. They demanded the release of dozens of people who'd been arrested 2 days earlier for allegedly participating in violent protests. 67 detainees were released Sunday without a shot being fired or a life lost. But that wasn't the case Friday, when 46 people died in a riot that ended in a building fire.
The emotions are powerful here. Fury, confusion, grief. These are the faces of people who are trying to understand why Ukraine's ethnic and political divide suddenly flared here in Odessa, taking so many lives. It started on the streets, pro-Russian and pro-Ukrainian forces throwing what they could at each other. Guns were used too. The pro-Russians were outnumbered and they retreated into the trade union building. Witnesses say there were hundreds inside when it caught fire. It's unclear how the fire started, whether it's because of Molotov cocktails thrown at the building or whether it's because they were mishandled by those seeking shelter here. But the fire took hold quickly, and in the moments that followed, dozens were killed, most overcome by smoke. But some tried desperately to escape. Odessa is a city with rich historic and cultural links to Russia. There have been disturbances here in recent weeks, but nothing like this. This isn't like Ukraine's east. These people are a long way from the Russian border. But the flames of political and cultural hatred now burn strongly here as well. Phil Black, CNN, Odessa, southern Ukraine.
We're heading back to North America to report on a holiday associated with Mexico. The nation declared its independence from Spain in 1810. In September, Spain recognized that independence in 1821. In September. So if someone comes up to you today and says, Happy Cinco de Mayo, it's Mexican Independence Day, you can say, nah, here are a few useful facts you could point out.
Attention, and for the last time, please help me spread out the word. Cinco de Mayo is not Mexico's Independence Day, okay? It's not. Cinco de Mayo, we celebrate the Batalla de Puebla, the Battle of Puebla. Puebla is a state, 85 miles away from Mexico City. It's just basically the victory of the Mexican army against a French army, Napoleon's army. But it is important because the French army had not been defeated in 50 years, and they came over to Mexico to collect a debt. So that's why we celebrate it. No, Cinco de Mayo is not as big as it is in America, so thank you very much for celebrating Cinco de Mayo for us. I've been here 14 years. I have never seen such a big celebration on Cinco de Mayo, parades, people on the street. We don't celebrate it that much. Don't say Happy Cinco de Mayo in Mexico, because they'll know you're not from Mexico. We don't say that. Maybe we say, have a nice day, but we don't say Happy Cinco de Mayo at all. So please don't confuse our Independence Day. Mexico's Independence Day is on the 16th of September, but we start celebrating it on the 15th. So don't confuse it, and I'll tell you in September why.
Carl Azus, present. It's time for the CNN Student News roll call. First to the Empire State. We're happy to have the Patriots watching at the Martin Luther King Jr. School. They're in Schenectady, New York. Go Hawks! That's the mascot, the Go Hawks. They're checking us out at Waverly Shell Rock High School. That's in Waverly, Iowa. And in the Grand Canyon state of Arizona, there are mountain lions stalking us. We found them at Mountain View School in Waddell. It's Teacher Appreciation Week. If you're on Facebook, we're at facebook.com/CNN Student News looking for your thoughts about your favorite teacher. For Sarah, that's Miss Wilcox. She's Sarah's history teacher who's good at teaching the subject and making it fun. Michael mentioned Miss Seeliger at Louisville High School, an AP World History teacher who shares her experiences in traveling and serving in the Peace Corps. Nicholas praised Mr. McGrew for being there for him and his classmates and helping solve problems that came up. Dale said if it weren't for Miss Latshaw at Deer Valley High School, he wouldn't know where he'd be today. And Theo, or Thao, said her drama teacher, Mr. Joseph, inspired her to follow her dreams. And our next story is in appreciation of another sort of teacher. His name is Ned Norton. He opened a specially designed gym. It allows people to exercise and build strength like any other gym, but it's not for profit. And his clients have spinal cord injuries, multiple sclerosis, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome. The strength that Norton's helping them find is why he's a CNN hero.
When I'm running, I feel limitless. Being in motion makes me feel free. When you're really pushing yourself, that's when you really feel alive. But there are millions of people around the world that are facing severe physical limitations. They can't be independent, they can't live their lives. I spent years training Olympic athletes, football players, bodybuilders. One day, a young guy, newly spinal cord injured, came to the gym asking for help. At first, I didn't know what to do, but we just worked together. We made tremendous progress. Take a breath, reach out, bring it back. Before you knew it, my phone rang off the hook with people asking for help. Bring it up. So I opened a gym designed to fit their needs. Ready to go to work?
Heck yeah!
For the past 25 years, I've provided strength and conditioning training for people with disabilities. Push, stretch up. Nice job. People come to me when they're at their lowest. Up. Hold it. Rack it.
I can understand now.
You come to the gym, and all of a sudden, you have a natural support network.
In 1971, I broke my back, and I've been in a wheelchair ever since.
That's it, Tom.
Thanks to Ned, I keep my upper body strength at a maximum. I've been able to live a full life.
I never worry about what they can't do. I worry about what they can do.
I can do it, Ned.
Yes, you can. Good job.
I did up to 10.
I'm building them up, building them stronger so they can go out and live life like they're supposed to.
At a softball game, you might expect to hear things like keep your eye on the ball, make sure no one steals. In this game, you got to keep your eye on the glove because someone's stealing those and he's not likely to give him bark. This dog is a maniac, a kleptomaniac, running some serious interference from the infield to the outfield. No one denies that he's way off base before his owner finally calls him out. Umpires will be chewing over ways to prevent that. After all, the gloves are off. You could say that pit bull against ball. It was certainly a foul play, though he made some great grabs before going home. I'm Carl Azus. We're out of time, and that's a doggone shame. See you tomorrow on CNN Student News.